Good morning, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode here at WILDMAN Lives. I'm your host, WILDMAN. Now on today's episode, I have good news and I have bad news. And I'll start with the bad news first. So the bad news is I have sustained an injury. It's called a distal bicep tendon rupture. Here, I'll show you what it looks like. So now what happened was I was lifting and the tendon in my elbow that holds my bicep and attaches it to the bone across the elbow snapped off like a rubber band. Now, ironically, I've had this injury before on this arm. And back then, that was the case of the unknown. I had no idea what to expect. I was hoping I wouldn't need surgery. I didn't know what would entail for recovery. I didn't know a lot of things back then. But fortunately, since I've been through it with this one, I kind of have an idea of what to expect with this one. And really, it's not that big of an injury comparatively to what could have happened. Unfortunately, when you do things that you love, whether it's a sport or weightlifting or strongman like I was doing, you're going to suffer some kind of injury. If you're a soccer player, more than likely you're going to have a knee injury where a tendon's going to snap off somewhere in your knee joint. If you're throwing baseballs as a pitcher or even like as an outfielder, you're going to get a lot of shoulder impingements and possibly tear a lot of ligaments in your shoulders. I used to play basketball for years, and the day I stopped playing basketball was the day I ruptured my Achilles tendon in my right foot. Unfortunately, when I was doing it, all I was doing was just standing there on the court and the tendon ruptured. But from all of the backwards pedaling and the uncontrolled jumping and explosive movements, my Achilles tendon just couldn't take it anymore until the point where it just snapped right in the middle of a basketball game. My point is, you're always going to want to do what you love to do, and you can try to mitigate injuries and take care of yourself. But in the end, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. So that's the bad news. Now here's the good news. The good news is a lot of people have never been injured before or are suffering with injuries, and they really don't know what the process is or what a typical recovery program looks like to get back on your feet again. So I'm starting a new series. It's going to be called Road to Recovery, and this is day 1. And by the time everybody sees this, I'll already have had surgery, been through some type of recovery process from the surgery, and onto physical therapy. And I'm going to document my experience as we go along. So if you're able to experience the same type of injury I have, or even if you tear any kind of tendon in your body, you can at least know what kind of severity you have and what are some of the options to take as a result. For my injury specifically, I had the option to either not get this healed and to let my body take care of it, but unfortunately, I would have lost 60 to 70% of my strength in this arm, and also it'll stay deformed. You'll see that right along here, there's no bicep. That bicep tendon has rolled up into the upper part of my bicep, and I'm going to be looking like Popeye for the rest of my life if I don't take care of it. Since I still plan to do strongman and to weightlift, and I saw the success with this arm, I'm going to go ahead and opt for the surgery, and I'm going to get this taken care of and go through the recovery process so that I can be even more bulletproof than I was before. So follow along, and I'll be happy to take you along in my journey. Really appreciate everybody watching my channel, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.